Let's learn how to attach our woven squares together. We are going to join every edge together, starting with the left, the bottom, the right, and then the top. Your woven squares, once they are completed, will later be joined to our collaborative cloth mural. Starting with our materials, we have our 2 woven squares, scissors, a tapestry needle with a blunt tip, and some warp string. You'll typically want to use the same color warp string that you have so that it's even less visible. For this tutorial, I'm using this hot pink string so that you are able to see the ladder stitch and so that you are able to see how the stitch works in making it invisible. So I'm taking about 2 arms length of yarn, giving that a trim, and next we are going to thread our needle. So now we thread our yarn through our needle, leaving a semi-long tail. Now you're going to want to stack your 2 woven panels with both of the top sides facing up, and you want to line them up as closely as possible. Now we're taking our needle and sliding it underneath that first loop of weft that we have. In this example, I'm sliding it underneath that first sand looking yarn string, and I'm going to make a knot. So I'm going to place the end of the string over my loop, pull it tightly, and I'm going to do that same motion once again. So you wrap your string around, bring it in through the loop, and pull tightly. So now we have the knot that is holding our string in place, so we can continue and join our pieces now. So again, we're lining up our pieces so that they match up as close as possible. We have our knot securely placed on the right hand side. Now I'm going to go horizontally across and slide my needle underneath that other loop on the opposite side and pull my string through. I'm going to be repeating this motion over and over across the whole edge. So to repeat, we pulled that knot through on one side to secure our string, went across horizontally, went underneath that other weft string, pulled our string through, and now we are going to repeat our steps along the edge. I'm going underneath that weft string on the top panel, across horizontally, underneath the other weft string, loop on the other panel, and pulling my string through. We're going to be creating a zigzag motion by repeating these steps over and over. Continue to weave along your edges, and as you get closer, I want to show you what happens when we pull our string. I'm going to leave that hanging there, and as you can see, we can see our pink string, right? I'm opening it up so you can see our ladder stitch a little bit better. Now we're going to make that string disappear. I'm holding my edge tightly and pulling that pink string towards me. And as I pull firmly, keeping my tension tight, you'll see that stitch begins to disappear. Now that we've joined our first piece, we're going to continue the same steps and close the rest of our edges. As I get closer to my edge, I'm going to give my string a pull, and you can see that stitch disappear. I'm finishing that last corner, giving it a tug, and now I have my 3 woven sides all closed. And then I have this opening here, and before I close it, this is an optional step, but I'm going to use my yarn scraps and I'm going to stuff them inside. In order to reduce the amount of waste that we create with fiber, we want to put our fiber scraps to good use. So why not make our quilted cloths look a little bit more realistic by adding that like puffy element to it. So now that I have the right amount of fluff in there, and you can use other things to fluff it up too. You can use like fabric scraps, polyfiber fill, but we are going to use our scraps for good use. So now I'm just tucking in all of those finishing strings, and we're going to close off our quilted square in that same manner that we have for the last 3 edges. So we're repeating those motions once again. We're going underneath that weft string, pulling across, going across horizontally, finding that loop, pulling our string across, and doing the same on the opposite side. So you want to make sure that you're going underneath that weft string all along the edge, but only making sure that you're picking up the loops that are closest to the edge and nothing further. You don't want to draw in too much. What's helpful for me here is that I've been using a binder clip, which helps me to keep my pieces joined together while I'm working across. So we have that zigzag motion there that you can see, that zigzag ladder stitch. I'm going to now give this a tight pull to finish off my last stitch. So now that I have my corners joined together, I am going to, before I pull that loop completely through, I'm going to thread my needle in that loop to make a knot. So I'm sliding my needle under that loop, pulling closely to that corner. It's helpful to keep your fingertips along the edge of that knot so that you get it really, really close to that edge. I'm repeating that motion once more so that we have a double knot. So I'm sliding my fingers down that string so that the knot is as close to the other string as possible. So just giving that a tight pull. Now we have another knot that's securely holding our stitch in place. Now we want to be able to tuck that string away so that it's not visible on the outside. So we are going to do that similar to how we tuck in our strings in a tapestry. Unfortunately, it is cut a little bit cut off, but you're going to tuck it underneath those weft strings so that you can kind of just hide it. So I'm gently pulling my needle through, struggling a little bit, but we made it through. And now you'll give it a little pull so that it's not too tight. And you're just going to snip off the end as close as you can. We weaved it through like 4 of those weft strings, so it is securely in place. And now you have your puffed up woven quilt that is now joined together. So these are your 2 woven squares now joined to form one uniform piece.